Hello all, welcome back to Shaylin Pegleg. Yes, I'm all lathered up. CK6 PAA Chocolate Bourbon. I ordered this in the CK1 and they gave me the CK6. I guess they were out of the CK1. Doesn't matter. Send straight. This one's like a 1.5, 2 out of 1 to 5. Today's razor is a Simplex Military razor. It's a bakelite razor. I originally was going to go with this, but I stropped the blade like 150 times and it still was rough as hell. So I'm assuming the Saturday blade on that has gotten a lot of use. But I figured it out. This piece right here, right there, slides in and out to lock the blade in place. Mine didn't before, and I watched another video on somebody using one and he was showing that it moves in and out, and I was like, okay, well mine didn't. So, and I couldn't get it to budge and I didn't want to pound on it, so I stuck it in the ultrasonic cleaner for 3 minutes and it came out, and it just barely slightest of movement. It's okay, getting somewhere. So I stuck it in the ultrasonic for 5 more minutes, and when it came out, a good stiff push and it moved. And once it moved, I could slide it back and forth and break it loose, and I had some ick come out of the channels where it slides in, and I threw it back in the ultrasonic after I got it moving for another 3 minutes and cleaned all that ick out, and it works now. So I got it to work. I just need to get a blade sharp. This is the Madigal blade. It's a super platinum. I don't remember what razor it came with. Did you know until 1937, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated as president on January 20th, that all presidential inaugurations, well, 20 of them took place on March 4th? FDR was the first one to do a January 20th inauguration. It's a lightweight, excuse me, it's a lightweight razor, but it works well. Yeah, you have to put a little pressure on it because it's bakelite, it's plastic. You have to put a little pressure on it, but it works well. Doesn't feel aggressive. Just taking the hairs off, doing real well. Okay. I'm gonna have to wet my face again. Hang on a second. Alright, 1918. The flu epidemic of 1918. The Spanish flu, Great Influenza. It's misnamed the Spanish flu because at the time that the flu outbreak happened, countries that had been involved in World War I were not, their newspapers weren't doing any bad news about anything in those countries because they wanted to try and keep morale up because everybody was rebuilding from the war. But since Spain hadn't been involved in the war, when cases of it broke out in Spain, hey, Spanish flu. Okay. But the Spanish flu, actually the earliest documented case was in Kansas, in the United States, in March of 1918. Then cases started being recorded in France, Germany, United Kingdom, and other places in April. 2 years later, nearly a third of the global population, or an estimated 500 million people, have been infected in 4 consecutive or successive waves of the flu. 4 successive waves of the flu hit the world. Pay attention, there's going to be a quiz at the end. Oh, sloppy me. This is a great scent. I just wish it was a hell of a lot stronger. Some 12 to 17 million people died in India alone. About 5% of the population. In Finland, 20,000 people died. Out of the 210,000 that were infected. In Sweden, 34,000 people died. In Japan, 23 million people were infected and at least 390,000 died. In Tahiti, 13% of the population died in 1 month. Western Samoa, 22% of the population of 38,000 died in 2 months. Indonesia, 1.5 million people were assumed to have died among the 30 million inhabitants from the Spanish flu, influenza. In Istanbul, the capital of Turkey, or actually the capital of the Ottoman Empire at the time, 6,403 people died out of the population of one city, and up to 6,403 to 10,000 people died. No exact numbers on that one. In the US, about 28% of the population of 105 million became infected, and 500,000 to 850,000 died. Out of a population of 105 million people, 500,000 to 850,000 died from the Spanish flu. Which, I'm looking at these statistics and that can't be right. And I just copy and pasted this. It says out of a population of 105 million that up to 850,000 died, but they're saying that's 28% of the population. That's more than 28% of the population. So their numbers are screwed up. Let's just go with 28% out of 105 million and forget the numbers. In Brazil, 300,000 died, including President Rodriguez Albi. The death toll in Russia has been estimated at 450,000. The The pandemic mostly killed young adults, people under 65 and in their teens, in their 20s, were the biggest group to die. In 1918 to 1919, 99% of pandemic influenza deaths in the U.S. occurred in people under 65, and nearly half the deaths were in young adults 20 to 40 years old. That was the H1N1 strain of the virus, which in recent times we've had recurrences of that strain. We called it swine flu, and there was the other bird flu? But we've had 2 reoccurrences of it since then. And yes, during this flu outbreak, people did wear masks everywhere. People were advised, not told to, but advised not to go outside unless absolutely necessary. There was no draconian lockdowns like we had this last time, but the similarities between the flus is kind of, except for the age group it attacks, the affected amounts of population are very similar. It's right here, which is not that unusual, but sometimes somewhat unusual, and here. So these flus, these diseases hit us all the time. We've talked about the Black Death. Which wiped out so many more people than anything else, than any other disease. I want to make sure my neck's nice and smooth. I got a date later. Of course, right? You want to keep your neck smooth for that. I use my granite bowl. I'm getting a little stingy. The alum block's gonna have fun with my face afterwards. Getting a little tingle from that soap. Pandemics and viruses are nothing new to mankind. Nothing new. It's the medicines that we have, the science we have, is what makes them differ. The ability to combat them. And of course, governments, being corrupt as they are, find more ways to make money off of them and exercise more control over the populace with each and every one of them. Follow the money. I always say it. I said it last video. Follow the money. If you don't believe me. Hell, look what San Francisco's doing. $3 million for reparations for each black person in San Francisco. They just enacted it. You know what they're using to pay that? Their COVID-19 federal relief money. Does that sound illegal or wrong? Because it should, because it is. It's like every time the government starts saying, oh, people on Social Security and on Medicare, they're going to get their benefits cut. Why are you cutting our benefits? We worked all of our lives to pay into that system. That should never be touched. How about the people that are collecting money for free that never had a job in their life, that are sitting on welfare? Why don't you cut their budgets? Make them go get a job. Cut their benefits. Don't cut mine. I worked 2 full-time jobs for 12 years. Over 80 hours a week for 12 years. No vacations. To support my family. And you're going to tell me you're going to cut my Social Security? No. And some jackass down the road collecting welfare that's never worked a day in their freaking life? That actually wasn't bad. It was only like a 1.5. All over the face of the neck. It was only like a 1.5 for the alum block. That was a gentleman job, alum block. Broken piece. We are not, as a society, getting more progressive. I don't care what anybody says. We're getting more regressive. We're going back to the times of kings and queens and serfs. Guess who the serfs are? Hi. How you doing, guys? Fellow serfs. Which Hazel? Just plain old Walgreens cheap witch Hazel. PAA's Chocolate Bourbon. That is a good scent. I just wish it was stronger. Maybe the aftershave with me. I can't remember. It's been so long since I used this. Maybe the aftershave will make up for it. Aftershaves, I'll give that a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, the aftershave's gonna make up for the soap because the soap is not there scent-wise for me. Yeah, the aftershave's good. I'm using the Dove Men & Care Ultra Hydra Cream. I taste chocolate. I don't taste the bourbon. I got it on my lips when I was wiping it all over the face. That much, that's all you need. Alright, gents. Don't let them scare you with this crap. Fear is control. Remember that. Fear is control. And that's how they control people. Don't let them do it to you. Think. Use your brain. Don't let them think for you. Do your own investigation. Look at your own, find your information anywhere you can. Look at it. Dissect it yourself. Don't let these people scare you, because all they want is control and money. That's it. Power and money. That's all they want. Alright, guys? And they'll use anything to get it. Anything. They don't care. Governments do not care about the people. They care about keeping themselves in power and keep their pockets lined. Period. Alright. That's my personal feelings. Period. My opinion. Could be mine alone, but I doubt it. I think there's others out there that agree with me. It's up to you guys to whether you want to believe it or not. Okay, guys? Don't forget the affiliate link. You want to buy from the Razor Company, please use it, because when that account gets to $25, I will get a $25 gift card to the Razor Company to give it to you guys. Don't forget the 4 channels I'll put in the description box. Go ahead and check those guys out. Give them a like and a subscription. I'm sure they'd appreciate having their numbers go up. So, I appreciate you all being here, listening to me babble and rant about my opinions, let's call them. So, thank you all for being here. Enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.